Hello everybody, my name is Debbie and this is my channel, Simply Debbie. I want to thank everybody that looked at my first video and to subscribe to it, and I want to say welcome to the ones that are new today. I just want to continue to carry you through the journey with me that we started on about my husband's healing, things that he had gone through, his sickness, the things he went through in the hospital. So if you missed my first video, just like you to go back and look at that so you can catch up on to where we are now. And so let's get into it. My husband had a place come up on his neck, and it started a very, very little place. It was under the skin. It was under the skin. It wasn't on the outside or anything. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And finally, it started getting where it hurt. And he said, it's hurting me. It got about as big as a golf ball. And he said, I'm going to have to go and do something about this, because nothing wasn't taking the pain away. So his first visit was to a dermatologist. And that dermatologist was not good. I'll have to say that. Now, he came into our room. When we got there, he came in and he started dancing around in the room and saying, turn some music on. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then he, came and he asked him, he said, let me see this. We'll analyze it and see what's going on. He was very unprofessional to me. That's just me, though. Some people may like that, but I don't. So anyway, he had told him that they would go in and cut that out. And, I think we had to go back in a day or two, something like that. So we went back the next day, and he got him in the chair, and he come back in there the same way, come in wanting to dance, turn the music on, as if he wasn't very concentrated whatsoever. Anyway, they numbed the neck, and he started cutting. I was in there with him. He started cutting on it, and I'm just, blood going everywhere. And he started cutting on it, and it took him about over 2 hours to get in there. And so he was saying, I can't get all of it because it's too close to a vein, so I'm not going to be able to get all of it. So I'll have to sew you up, and, we'll just have to go from there. Well, as he went home, we had to go back and get the stitches. So, he was in pain. So, but it was easing up on that. So we went back and to get the stitches out. But I noticed that when we went back, that there were some people in there. And I heard them say that, kind of like they'd been going to him for 6 months and this and that. And when I would see him come out and say something to his patients, how are you doing, in the waiting room? Well, I'm not doing no better. It seems to be getting worse. Well, that's kind of a red flag to me. That's a red flag. So anyway, my husband goes in there to get the stitches out, and he's busy, so he can't take him out. So he gets his people, a tech, to take it out. Or a nurse, whatever she was. I don't even know now. But anyway, she took out the stitches, and when she did, she cut him. So that got infected, and that right there caused a snowball avalanche of a lot of troubles. So it got infected, and it started hurting him really, really bad. But he still wasn't wanting to go and see about that. But finally, he had to go because it was so bad, it was hurting. So we went he was admitted into the hospital. They said, we're going to go in and we're going to clean out the infection and we're going to get you going and you'll be good to go. So, me and him, neither one had never been in the hospital. We never even really had to go to the doctor. Now, he has diabetes, but further than that, we never had to go to the doctor for anything. So, we go and he gets put in. And that's an adventure to us because, we just, like I said, we've never been in the hospital like that. So, the next day, they come and get him, and they tell my daughter and me, and it's going to be about 2 hours. It'll be 2 hours, and he'll be out of the room, and everything will be good. So, 2 hours pass. Nothing. No phone calls, no texts, nothing from nobody. So I'm thinking, okay, you told me 2 hours. If this was going to be longer, you should having somebody call me and let me know that it's going to be longer so that I won't be, worrying about what's going on. So anyway, 3 hours pass and still nothing. So then I'm walking down to the door where they took him in. You can't pass through him, but I'm walking down there and I'm thinking, where is he? What's going on? Because nobody's letting us know. So finally, after that time, 5 hours, they finally called and said, okay, he's out of recovery and we're not going to be bringing him up to the same room because the oxygen machine in that room is not working. Now, mind you, we were staying in that room the whole time. I was in that room they took him out of the whole time, and nobody ever came in there to look at no oxygen machine or nothing. So they moved him. So they moved him to a room that did not have windows. To me, that's a suicide watcher room, because no, it was terrible. It was terrible. So, to me, when a person is in a healing state, they need sunshine. You need sunshine. You have to have that, You just can't be put in a dark room. So anyway, there were, like I said, no windows. It was just terrible. And when I got to him, he was very upset. And, I just went to him and I told him, look, it'll be okay. You've went through it. You've got the surgery. It'll be okay. God will take care of everything. And we'll get out of here and we'll go home. So that calmed him down. Now, I will say that, while he was there that night, we was there a couple, and they took good care of him. They did do that. But being in that room with no sunlight, nothing, just walls, it was just terrible. There's nothing, it was just terrible. So, finally, we got to go home. And, the longer that we were at home, as weeks passed, it wasn't getting any better. It was very painful. So, in that time, he goes to another doctor. So, that doctor says, let me look, because the doctor that had did it initially wasn't there. So, he was having to, see a different doctor. He said, let me look at it. And my husband told him, he said, this is painful. This hurts. It is not getting any better. Matter of fact, it's getting worse. And of course, all the doctor said was, well, it shouldn't be hurting. Well, okay, you was told that it is hurting. That's where doctors and nurses and whoever, they need to listen to their patients and not just go by what they think should be, because the patient is what matters, not the doctor, not the nurse, not anybody else, only the patient. They need to take time and listen to them. So, he says, well, okay, I'm going to send you downstairs to another person, and, they're going to go through and see what's going on. So, we go downstairs to another doctor, and we're in that room waiting on him to come in. And he comes in like somebody half crazy. He comes in and he just sits down in the chair, and he doesn't ask his name. He doesn't ask what's going on. He doesn't look at him. He doesn't do anything. All he says was, this is what we're going to do with you. We're going to take you into surgery, and I'm going to go in there and cut out what they couldn't get. And then I'm going to take veins from your arm, from your forearm, and it's going to look like spaghetti and stringing around. And I'm going to go in there and we're going to get that, put in, the nerves connected and this and that. Way. He said, and that's what we're going to do. So, that's where we're going to leave it. And, I told my husband, I said, get in the car. Get in the car. Because we're not doing this. We're not coming and doing nothing to somebody that doesn't have any compassion for anybody, that acts like they don't have any professionalism about them. We're not doing it. Get in the car. Get in the car. So, we go home. And so, from there, things just got worse from there, and it did. And that's when the downhill came. But I will say this. All before this ever happened, I had already been praying for my husband, and I asked God to show me from His Word, does my husband have cancer? Is that place on his neck cancer? And God had showed me in His Word that it was not. So, that's it. He told me it was not, and that's it. And we had many, many people tell us that it was. But I'm going to carry that on into my next video because it would take way too long to be done in one video. Way too long. So I just want to, stop on there at it so I can come into next week. And I just want to go a little bit into caretakers. I've seen a lot on videos about caretakers, and I've seen how they are really, really forgot about. Now, I have a very good support. I have very good family support. I am not one that is pushed aside and overlooked. But there are many, many people that are caregivers that are overlooked. And because the patient is the one mostly people focus on, but what people don't understand is the caretaker is going to take good care of the patient. But so many people forget about the caretaker. And they still matter, and they still need to know that they matter. Now, there are some people who just cannot be hands-on, and I understand that. They can't be hands-on at the house. They can't be helping. They can't do that, jobs, family, whatever. Everybody can make a phone call. Everybody. To talk to the caretaker sometime. How are you doing? How are you doing? Or, send things to them sometimes. Send them little gift cards in the mail inside of a card to let them know you're thinking about them. I seen one woman on there that she said somebody from her church had sent her some groceries, just things that she liked from Walmart, and she just thought that was everything. And you will, because when you're a caretaker, everything in their life changes too. It's not just the patient, the caretaker's life changed too. And also the people in the family, their children, their grandchildren, everybody's life takes on a different change. Because children that come visit their parents and sit at a table to eat with them over the years, they can't do that anymore. They can't, and that's changing for them, life changing. And, when they don't have the two parents at the door waving them goodbye when they leave and say, y'all be careful, come back. It doesn't work like that anymore. And it affects everybody in the family. But the caretaker, especially the ones that are sole caretakers, are the ones that I have seen, that I have been reading about, that are forgot about. Don't do that. Let them know you care about them. Do something special for them. Send them gift cards. Send them cards in the mail. Call them. Tell them you love them. Tell them that you're thinking about them and that you're praying for them. And, a call don't cost anybody anything. Just send them some flowers. Let them know that their life still matters, because their life does matter. Their life does. As I said, I have a strong support team. My family is very good of helping me. They're very good at taking, they bring groceries in here to me. They bring treats that they think we both like. And I have a grandson who will come and stay when I need to go out, or even if I just want to go out. And that's important. Caretakers can't stay in the house all the time. They have to have somebody to come and say, go out and just enjoy yourself, go shopping, do what you want to do, and I'll be right here and you ain't got to worry about that. Now, that's one thing about my husband. I will not leave him with nobody but family. I'm just not going to do that. I'm his sole caretaker, and I take care of him. I have been accused of being overprotective of my family, and yes, I am. And I will always be that way. So that's not going to change. So anyway, I did just want to put that in. And, yeah. Give them a call. Give them a call. Send them something. Just let it show up on their porch. Or let them know you care and love about them. I want y'all to see this behind me back here. This is my fireplace mantle. This is fixing to change. This is fixing to change because I'm going to start early decorating for fall. If y'all would like to go along with me and watch me get this change made and follow me to continue in his journey, to let you know how God took us out of all of that stuff, that God really stepped in and got my husband in a good place. And I want to take you from where it started to where it is now. So if you want to continue to be with me on this journey, I ask that you would subscribe to my channel, like my channel, comment on my channel. And I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate your time, because I know everybody's time is precious. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.